We're breaking down the top 10 running backs for 2023, part 1. You can click right at the top corner of the screen right now and watch part 1. Part 1, I revealed CMC as running back 1 for 2023 redraft. Bijan Robinson was number 2. 2023 redraft. If it's dynasty, we're talking a whole different ball game. We're talking Bijan number 1 if it's dynasty. And if you're like,
Smitty, how do you have a rookie running back that doesn't even have a landing spot?
never taken an
NFL snap
as your number 2 redraft running back? Watch the video. Link in description. McCaffrey 1, Bijan 2. Who is number 3? This is part 2 of a 3-part series of my top 10 running backs. And because I'm long-winded, yes, there are 3 parts. Number 3 is...
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.
Number 3 is Kenneth Walker.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Kenneth Walker. What can I say about Kenneth Walker that I haven't already said over and over and over? The guy's a monster, and he's 18 to 2,000 yard capable in an 18-game season, and people are still going to doubt him like crazy. Yes, he will have a bunch of people believing in him. No doubt about it. The Kenneth Walker train is getting filled, but it's still not full. And for some reason, the vibe I'm getting when I talk about Kenneth Walker being running back 3, 4, 2, 5, pushback. More pushback than belief, which is a good thing. We want that. You don't want everybody to love the players you love. You want people to push back. You want resistance against the players you love because that means value. Like with Bijan at my number 2 ranked player, don't go forcing Walker into a position of high ADP rank if you don't have to. You know what I love more than anything? When people say he's not a receiving back. What did I tell everybody that said, Smitty, he didn't catch passes in college. Smitty, he's not a receiving back. I said he has amazing hands. Not good hands, amazing hands, and he has every other attribute to an A-class level for a receiving back. What makes a good receiving back? Elusiveness, the ability to jump, cut, and go in any direction. Vision, the ability to navigate to open spaces and open planes on the field. Before he even took a snap at the NFL level, what did I tell everybody about Kenneth Walker? He was probably, arguably, already, without taking an NFL snap, already a top 5 running back in my mind in finding open spaces on the field, because in college, the dude was like Forrest Gump, running left, right, back, forward. This guy knows how to get to the open space like a magnet. It drags him around the field. Kenneth Walker can be a 2,000 yard back at the NFL level and right away in his sophomore year. Why? Because even if he didn't improve, you take his rookie running back numbers, and he didn't start until about week 5 or 6. And if you take from week 5 or 6 through the entire season, extrapolate that data across a 17-game season, he would have rushed for 1,400, 1,500 yards. And if you believe what I'm saying about his receiving skills, he will pull in 400 or 500 yards receiving on a minimum of 50 to 60 receptions, and he could be a lot better than that. He could be a higher than 60 reception back at the NFL level. But let's play conservative. He caught 27 passes as a rookie, a running back that wasn't supposed to pull in passes, a running back that didn't get going till about week 5 or 6, a running back, I believe, in a worst case scenario, pulls in 50 to 60 receptions as a sophomore. You give him 50 to 60 receptions on a minimum for 400 or 500 yards. He rushes for 1,400, 1,500 yards. He gets you 1,800 to 2,000 total yards. He is a 10 touchdown plus running back. He could get anywhere between 12 and 15 touchdowns on the ground. During weeks 5 through 9, he scored a touchdown in every single game. He had 2 multiple touchdown games. Week 5, 1 touchdown. Week 6, 1 touchdown. Week 7, 2 touchdowns. Week 8, 1 touchdown. Week 9, 2 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games with touchdowns, 2 of which were double digit. He had 3 games in his rookie year, only starting from week 5, 6 on, where he had multiple touchdowns. 2 touchdown games as a rookie. He scored 9 touchdowns as a rookie and didn't start games till around week 5, week 6. If you think Kenneth Walker can't be a 15 TD back when he just scored 9, I don't know what to tell you. 12 to 15 scores, 2,000 total yards, 50 to 60 receptions. Book it, Kenneth Walker, number 3 running back.
just been Smitty approved.
This one's tough because I badly want to put Breece Hall right here. I very badly want to put Breece Hall. He is coming back from a torn ACL, so it's very logical to dial back a little bit, to just be hopeful that he can play at a top 5 running back level at some point, maybe early on, because it all comes down to recovery. I'll get to Breece Hall in a minute. I know everybody's going to say, but ACL recoveries, look, no one has to tell me about ACL recoveries. I'll tell you about ACL recoveries, and I'll tell you they're all case by case. What happened to Barkley coming back from his first year, what happened to J.K. Dobbins coming back from his ACL tear walking into this past 2022 season. Very different from what could be Barkley's situation. I'll explain all that when I talk about Breece Hall. Breece Hall was very close to being my number 4, so you know he's coming up here. But number 4 is a special player that also had a torn ACL. Number 4 is a player that has come back from his ACL tear on a tear, and he needed that 1 year to get right. Number 4 is headed to possibly a new team in 2023. Maybe he stays. Maybe he gives a hometown discount. Maybe he doesn't want to go anywhere. But this number 4 running back for 2023 could be even better in a different spot. We don't know where he's headed. Number 4, Saquon Barkley.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Barkley was unbelievable in 2023. And I said to avoid him in 2022 coming off of his 2021 ACL tear. And I was right because he was slow moving. He wasn't ready. He was barely cutting to a significant degree, like gameplay cutting, even in practice with pads on literally 1 week before the season started. He wasn't ready. J.K. Dobbins entering this past 2022 season was not ready. Every ACL tear is different. The recovery is the key, not the ACL injury itself. How old the running back is or how young the running back is, mixed with in combination with how quick the recovery is. If they're recovered well before week 1, they got a real strong shot at trying to replicate an Adrian Peterson recovery. The key word is trying. That may never be done again where a running back comes back from a torn ACL and runs for 2,000 yards. But it has everything to do with the recovery. So wait on Breece Hall. Don't jump to conclusions about Breece Hall because Barkley struggled his first year back or because J.K. Dobbins struggled his first year back. Stop assuming that every situation's the same and wait for my Breece Hall take to come. He may be 5, he may be 6, he may be 7. You're just going to have to wait. But Saquon Barkley at number 4, could he be elsewhere? Could he be in a Raiders uniform and get paired with Aaron Rodgers? Could he head over to Buffalo? Could he head over to Philadelphia? Don't rule out a very crazy landing spot for Barkley, and understand that we're on this early and that nobody's talking about where he could be. Everybody just assumes he's maybe not going to find a better home than where he's at right now. This is Saquon Barkley. There's a team like Buffalo that might say we need a difference maker and they bring in Barkley. What if the Eagles fall short next round, or maybe they lose in the Super Bowl and they say we want to add Saquon Barkley? We all love Gibbs and Bijan, maybe Jacobs, different movement into that Philly situation, but maybe it's Barkley. Saquon Barkley has an upgraded situation in 2023. This is my prediction. He has an upgraded situation in 2023, or at the very least, he stays where he is and he does really well. Things can only get better. Barkley's not going to choose by his own doing a worse situation. Barkley's going to select a very good landing spot, or he'll return for a hometown discount in New York. I pick he goes elsewhere. I predict he goes somewhere amazing. I predict he becomes some people's number 1 running back come August because of the landing spot. Barkley is a 2,000 total capable running back for 2023 and 12 to 15 touchdowns. Dial him up.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Running back number 5 for 2023 redraft is none other than Breece Hall.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Top 5 running back torn ACL. Smitty, haven't you learned anything? Players that tear ACLs don't do good their first year back. As if I haven't been the one preaching that on the daily to you, Bob. But again, as I mentioned earlier, it's not about torn ACL. It has to do with how young you are. It has to do with your recovery. Do you hear me touting Javonte Williams right now? You don't. Why do you think that is, Bob? I don't know, Smitty. You loved him last year, and you love torn ACL players, apparently, because you like Breece Hall top 5. Javonte's not being reported to be ahead of schedule. Breece Hall is reportedly ahead of schedule. Breece Hall is young. We have never seen a top 1 to 5 running back, and don't at me. He was on his way to being running back 1 or at least running back 2 before his torn ACL. We've never seen a running back as young as Breece Hall in his rookie year, about to be running back 1, tear his ACL. He's very young. Players that tear their ACL in college, it's not really a big deal as long as they have time to recover. They're so young, their bodies heal so quick. In fact, you'd be surprised how many running backs tore their ACL in college or at a very young age that were absolutely phenomenal. Dalvin Cook tore his ACL in college. Priest Holmes tore his ACL before he became a monster. When you're a young running back and you tear your ACL, and Breece Hall is as young as it gets for being a top 1 to 5 running back tearing his ACL, it doesn't hamper you as much as long as you're recovered well enough before week 1. Everything we're hearing suggests that Breece Hall will be ready potentially for training camp. The difference between Barkley coming off of his torn ACL in 2021, he wasn't even cutting right before the season started. J.K. Dobbins this past 2022 wasn't cutting or playing or getting hit. Big difference. If Breece Hall comes into camp looking phenomenal, there's going to be no problems whatsoever. Maybe he's not 100%, but that doesn't mean he won't still develop a different facet of his game that makes him better at the end of the day. Blessing in disguise type of thing. Guy breaks his right arm, learns to use his left arm once the right arm's fixed. Now he can use both of them. He's a better athlete because of it. Breece Hall, torn ACL, maybe his explosiveness is down a little bit walking into this 1 year. Maybe he learns patience and reading a hole better. Blessing in disguise. Doesn't mean he can't produce top 5 running back numbers, even not at 100% in some areas of his game. He is special. He is different. His team is phenomenal. I believe they lure in a really good QB. Maybe Lamar, Brady, A-Rod, somebody much better than what they've been dealing with, and Breece Hall has much more room to run and navigate. You can doubt Breece Hall all you want. You can try and reference torn ACLs and use that data against me, but you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. Torn ACLs aren't the problem. Recovery, case by case. His recovery so far has been way ahead of schedule. If that changes, you'll see me change. I'm not going to come out here, dig my heels in and say, well, because we heard he was ahead of schedule, I touted him up, and then we hear, okay, he had a setback, cleanup surgery, he's behind schedule. I'm not just going to come out and say, Breece Hall number 5, Breece Hall number 5, Breece Hall number 5. I will adjust and adapt, but I'm going to hit the button for the first time since the injury because I feel like it's time. Breece Hall.
Get Breece. Get Breece.
He's coming back with a vengeance in 2023 as a sophomore, and he's a top 5 running back. He's an 1,800 total yard threat, and he's a 12 to 15 total touchdown threat. Breece Hall number 5.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Who's number 6? Is it ETN?
Smitty, where's Austin Eckler? Are you out of your mind?
Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. Could he bounce back? Could it be another rookie coming up here soon? Part 3 of my 3-part top 10 running back series is up next. You're watching part 2. Part 1 is in the description about Christian McCaffrey and Bijan. This part 2 that you just watched was about Walker, Barkley, and Hall. And part 3 will be number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com and get your year-round fantasy football rankings, bold predictions, one-on-one text advice, trade calculators, everything you need to dominate your league, thefantasyfootballshow.com. And I'm live Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm live whenever news breaks. That means if something happens like Tom Brady's going here or Aaron Rodgers is going to be traded or he's going to have an announcement, I go live. Anytime news breaks, I want you to think of me. Oh, this news is huge. I wonder who's talking about it right now. Smitty, I'm live. I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday around midnight Eastern most evenings, and I drop videos like this one randomly throughout the week. Pretty much every day I'm going to try and upload a video on top of the live stream schedule I just spouted off. And the Dynasty channel is getting into high gear. The link is in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the new Dynasty channel. We just have over 1,000 subscribers, and I want to be going live once a day or dropping a video once a day on that channel. So buckle up. I'll see you on the next one. Get out of here.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.